You just necessarily wrong. I don't have a clip, otherwise I'd love it.
Okay, okay.
Until the red heifer purification ceremony can be performed. However, some rabbis say that because the precise location of those areas are not entirely clear.
After the first 4 years here at the House of Yahweh, for me, all of a sudden things started changing. All of a sudden all the women were completely covered up. Then the next thing is they're now covering their faces, so they look like a bunch of Muslims from another country.
There are gloves worn, often because of fears of contamination by anyone outside of the group who is unclean. So what you have are these women who are held in a kind of prison. Every female in the House of Yahweh have to go to a man, an elder, who is in a position of authority over them to make decisions for their life.
I'm not originally, neither one of us are originally from Abilene.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
Where are you from?
I'm from New York.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was
you?
doing some studying with my husband, and he was doing studying, and he just, he really got into what the truth is, and where do I need to go, what do I need to do, so we started reading and studying, and it led us right here.
I'm from South Carolina, and
okay.
I've been here since I was little. I came with my parents.
Are your parents?
No, they're gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but, I had to do what was right for me. I couldn't do what was right for them, and, I proved this to myself. I proved everything, and this is my belief and my faith.
At different times, Yahweh calls different individuals, and maybe he's calling you so that you can learn as much as you can, and then you can be the one to say, listen, this is the way of life that we're supposed to live. And then by your example, you'll draw them in.
Following the Jewish traditions of feasts and festivals, the House of Yahweh uses these events to lure in and recruit potential members.
Do you have a feast booklet?
Yeah, I did. I got one.
Okay, read that one. Read that. That would be, try not to let anything stop you from even attending the feast, because that's where we get to congregate. That's where you get to really learn a lot.
Right.
There's going to be hindrances, your parents, this and that. They're going to try and, prevent you, blah, 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 blah. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let anything stop you.
There were 7 people that went to the Feast of Yahweh from my family. We stayed there for a week, and we were told that once you come in, you cannot leave.
Once someone comes to a feast or festival, an event of the House of Yahweh, they have now effectively been submerged into its milieu, into an environment that Mr. Hawkins controls.
Every day you hear it. You're not going to want to go home when you leave here. And by the time the 7th day is around, you don't want to go home. This is your family. This is where you belong. I brought my other children with me, and we knew we were going to live there till the end of times.
Yisrael Hawkins has so many teachings about so many things. He keeps them very afraid. Afraid of the food and the people and the contamination of the outside world. And this is the organizational glue that holds them in place within the House of Yahweh.
65 million Americans are infected with one or more STD, and 57 million, get this, 57 million Americans have already an incurable disease right now. They're carrying it right now.
Here, illness is seen as an act of the devil, and medicine and doctors are viewed with great suspicion.
You should go to Yahweh first through the elders. The elders put their hands on you and heal you first before you go see a doctor, or you're going to get a curse.
Not long ago, there was a kind of home surgery undertaken by a mother with her minor child, and the little girl died. This isn't the first time that I've heard things like this about the Hawkins compound.
When Kenaya's wife gives birth to his daughter in their trailer, the situation turns deadly.
I'm watching my baby girl sitting there die in front of me, they revive it. Die in front of me, they revive it. This is what the hell y'all doing? Well, we're trying to get Israel, but he's up there talking. We can't get him off the stage. I went and grabbed someone's vehicle, had keys in it, came and picked them all up, rushed to the hospital by myself, driving like a wild man, and they saved the baby's life. The baby would have, if I would not have been there, the baby would have died. They'd have sat there and watched the baby die, and I would have heard about the baby dying, and they would have showed up too late.
So the only one going to the doctor and going to the dentist is Israel Hawkins.
Because of the many inconsistencies she notices within the group, Mary begins to have doubts.
As soon as you start having any questions, questioning their teachings, they know you're waking up.
Mary makes a courageous decision to leave with one of her sons.
And it was scary. I thought I'd be killed. My son would be killed.
But both managed to get out alive. Another member went to the house of Yahweh to attend a one-week feast. 7 years later, she's still there. Miriam was supposed to be gone for only a week. Instead, she moved into the House of Yahweh compound and stayed for 7 years. Cult intervention specialist Rick Ross is in Abilene, Texas, with Miriam's sister Petra to try to convince her to leave.
Petra contacted me concerned about her sister. Marion is 71 years old. Her health is not good. She has diabetes. And also, Marianne is in the United States illegally and working illegally within the House of Yahweh.
I'm very nervous about that because I don't want to seem like a traitor to her. On the other hand, I want to take this opportunity because maybe Rick can change her mind and make her see the error of her ways.
Miriam has agreed to meet Petra at her hotel. Careful not to scare her away, her sister explains that Rick will be joining them to discuss her legal status in the country.
So what we're hoping is that everything will go smoothly. I've got some concerns about that the House of Yahweh won't allow her to be alone with her sister. And so my concern is, will she actually be able... Hello, Rick Ross. Time to go. Hello. Hi.
Here's my sister, Mary.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I was telling my sister that this is buying a house is a big thing, considering our situations, mine, hers, her legal status, and that I looked for some help and some answers and whatever we can do. And I thought that's where you come in.
I think your sister's concern to some extent is that because of your legal status here, there might be a problem. Because basically, your sister's attitude is she really wants you to be safe.
Surprisingly, Miriam doesn't leave when Rick begins to reveal why he's really there. Instead, she starts to quote Hawkins' prophecies.
The 12th of June. There will be the first nuclear war in Iran, of Iraq, near the Euphrates River. And it says in the scriptures, if you know the scriptures, a fourth of the people will die.
This will occur as of this year in June?
Yeah, this year.
And so let me ask you a question. If that does not happen,
it will happen.
If it doesn't happen, then what would you think?
I would not think anything. The America will be completely...
Except for Abilene.
Because she's so deeply ingrained into the group's belief system, Rick tries to stimulate Miriam's critical thinking again.
You made $1.50 an hour, and you were working. He was in direct disobedience to civil authority. I mean, he should have known that a woman who does not have a green card, did not have a work permit.
I'm not the only one, you know.
I know. This is what I find shocking. I hate to tell you this, but sometimes I look at Mr. Hawkins, and I think he might be a bit of a scam. If the world is coming to an end, why has all of his life been spent acquiring long-term assets?
That I cannot come back. It's so close to the very end. I'd rather stay here.
I think that Mr. Hawkins makes these predictions to trick people to stay.
Maybe I might see you again in June.
When he was talking to her, I could see how she sort of, her eyes wandered away thinking, she saw Australia, she saw the family, and she realized that she's homesick for them.
And that was another thing when they took my telephone away. I was so mad about that, you know. It was punishment. And that makes me mad.
I felt very positive when she opened up, talked about things that bothered her about the house of Yahweh. That was really a major thing to do, considering how tight-knit and secretive this group is. There are a lot of people that would like to see you.
I know. I like to see them as well, but anyway.
It's a good time. And I was able to talk to her for about 5 hours. We planted a lot of time bombs, so to speak, things that might explode into her consciousness in the future. And I think what that may lead to is eventually calling her sister and leaving the group. Of course, you know, Hawkins has been spinning stories like that forever, so he may try to spin it again after the eventful or non-eventful June 12th date comes, goes, and no bomb goes off. But maybe this time, Marianne won't be so easy to be spun.
Although the prophetic time frame of June 12th has expired, Miriam still remains a member of the House of Yahweh.
And when you start waking up from the brainwashing, they have no need for you, because once you wake up, you never go to sleep again. You'll never fall into that trap again.
I saw some things that were taking place that just were not right regarding the treatment of women. And with 5 daughters, I just could not have that. So they really are so much healthier and so much better off. They no longer have a mean ogre for a dad. I'm not the mean guy that I used to be. I could be kind now because I'm not under the guise of, here comes the end, here comes the end. You got to prepare. What's wrong with you? Don't you realize if you do this, you're going to... It was just all stupidity. And I can look back and I can see that. And I'm okay knowing that I made mistakes. If the thing takes place, it takes place. If nuke war comes, it comes. If you get killed some way or somehow, we all get the opportunity to die. So why not just enjoy now? Because it's really all we have.
The cemetery in Eula is where people, when they die from sin, get buried, because you don't die unless you have sin. But I wanted to go to the cemetery to see it because of my relatives that went with me to the House of Yahweh have now since died. So in going there, the only thing that's there is the name of Hawkins. Stone after stone after stone just says Hawkins. So you don't know where the person that you loved is. So I guess you just pray for everybody.
The house of Yahweh is a mystery. It is hidden. The Messiah said, "Do not hide your light under a bushel. Let the light shine so the world can see you." What they do is darkness. It has to be hidden.
Many people would have us believe that mind control is a myth, that it doesn't exist. But we've looked at these groups and these people, and we've seen people suffering and making choices that are not in their own best interest. I think mind control is the answer. It's a disquieting one. It's one that leaves us a little frightened about the fragility of the human mind.